How's it going, everybody? This is DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the T57 Heavy, a tier 10 American heavy tank played by a new username. So this is a subscriber replay, the first one I've done in quite a while. So if I'm honest, I kind of miss doing subscriber replays because they used to be pretty fun to do. Because I haven't done them in quite a while, it's kind of weird to try and do one again. But this is actually one that's pretty relevant to me at the moment because it's in the T57 Heavy, and I've mentioned a couple times that the T57 Heavy is a vehicle which I massively want to get. This is a vehicle which, if I'm honest, I think is pretty unique in the fact that it has not lost any of its fear factor or power since it was introduced. Now, I do think it was nerfed at one point, to reduce the aiming time and stuff like that, but the raw burst firepower and the reload and stuff like that, all of that sort of stuff has remained consistent. But it hasn't, it just has not lost its place in the game whatsoever. I mean, if you look at tanks which are only a wee bit older than this thing in the game, like the IS-7, I think the E100 is older than this thing as well. Same with the 50B and the Mouse. All of those vehicles had to get either buffed or they had to get some sort of rework in order to make them relevant again, and a lot of them are still irrelevant. The E100 I think is the only one that hasn't been buffed significantly out of that group, and you can really tell by how much of just a travesty that thing is at the moment, considering well, it used to be one of the best overall tier 10s in the game. This thing here, it's still incredibly powerful, and it just does not need to be changed in any shape or form. That's such a unique position to have among tier 10s, because most of them just get power crept to shit, but this thing is in the unique position of being the most powerful I think you can make an autoloader in this game without making it completely broken. And yeah, this T32, its new username just rushed it, and well, there was only one outcome to that situation, and it was not in the favour of the T32. So, if I'm honest with you, the main reason why I never went for the T57 Heavy is actually a really stupid reason looking back on it. I never went for it because it's a light tank and medium tank line that leads to a heavy, and my genuine opinion whenever I looked at it back in the day was just why on earth would I go through the process of retraining a crew for another tank class and lose all the crew skills and stuff like that there? Why would I bother doing that there? I'm going to grind up a crew in T29 to go into the T57 Heavy once I get it. And looking back on it, that was such a stupid plan, because first off, I have a pretty decent crew that's in the T41 right now, and it's really not as bad as I thought it was to retrain a crew from one type to another. I do it all the time now. I've had medium crews which I've made tank destroyer crews. Looking back on it, I'm just you were naive as hell, and that was such a stupid plan. But yeah, this T5A is going to come forward and try and get a shot into the T7 Heavy, and just bounces off the beak on the frontal armor. So, mentioning the armor, why not go over it? So, you can see there is where the T5A hit. This area here is 228, 229mm thick, and it's pretty well rounded and sloped. When it comes to the turret, this is probably the worst possible place that it could have been for me to do this. But when it comes to the turret, the traversing part of the turret, traversing left and right part, in other words, the bit below this cloth sleeve, all of that area is pretty much weak, except for the extreme angles. But all of that area is pretty weak and can be pinned by 160 or 180mm of penetration. When it comes to the oscillating part of the turret, the bit that allows the gun to move up and down, that area there is actually the tough part of the armor. That part is actually really, really well angled, and it has so many different armor values across that section of turret that it's really difficult to actually penetrate that section of turret consistently. And it's why you never really see people aiming for that part if they can possibly help it. Now, new username here is actually going for the Batshot 25 TAP, because, well, he's going around looking to see if he can catch him out. But I don't know how the Batshot did this, but he is somehow going to manage to get over towards where the Conqueror GC is without getting spotted. he must have been like, this must have been like a, like new username was going around one side of the rock, and then he was going around the other side of the rock or something like that there. Like, that was like a really bizarre thing to see, where we're just like, he somehow managed to get over there. He must have been driving along here after new username went up and over there. So that's just like, the timing on that must have just been insane. And well, new username has now gotten himself into position to just shred the Scorpion G, and it really didn't matter what the Scorpion G did. There was really no way in hell he was going to survive that situation. Also, the Oho was pretty bitter because he just died to the Scorpion G just as, well, new username killed him. So I actually think this was a 1 versus 5. He just killed the Scorpion G, so that's that tank removed. So yeah, it was a 1 versus 5. Jeez, that's weird to think of. And the batch at 25 TIP chooses now to reappear, but he chose to reappear right in front of a T57 Heavy, which was in the process of reloading. The reload on the T57 Heavy can get as low as 22 seconds for a 400 alpha clip. A 400 alpha per shot clip. It was really not a good idea for that batch out to really come that close. Also, that T55A, whenever new username was over here and the bat chat was distracting him, that T55A really should have taken the opportunity to try and Soviet side hug the T57 Heavy, because new username isn't firing premium rounds. Well, that T55A was, but he hasn't fired a single premium round in this game so far, and he's not going to fire a single premium round because, well, there's a Conqueror GC in front of him, and there's a Type 9 over there somewhere, we don't know where. All he would have had to do, in theory, was get to the side armor and basically use his gun to block the shots from the T57 Heavy. And if he had managed to do that there, he could have taken a couple more shots of health off of new username at least, and gave the Type 59 and the CGC a chance of actually winning this game. But unfortunately he didn't do that, which meant that, well, yeah, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. A Conqueror GC and a Type 59 are unlikely to win this, and also the CGC pings the map in order to let new username know there that the Type 59 has appeared. And, well, yeah, he gets the first shot off, and he's going to head towards where the Type 59 is to get rid of him first. Meanwhile, the Conqueror is actually coming around the corner, and he is actually going to try a shot right here now. That must have been such an ass-clenching moment there, because having a tank with as big a gun as that try a shot at you from like a shotgun sort of range, like that was probably that was between 50 and 70 meters, I would say. And having that sort of situation there must have just been like, oh my god, that was so unbelievably close. Because it really, like that, for an artillery, that was not as far off as you may have thought. All it would have taken is a little bit of lucky RNG for that CGC, and this game would have ended completely differently. But thankfully it didn't, and because of that, new username just got 5,000 damage, as new user makes no difference, 7 kills, and a Colabanos medal for winning 1 versus 5. Yes, he wasn't a tier 10, he was versus mainly tier 9s and a couple tier 8s and 1 tier 10. But goddamn, this sort of matchmaking in this tank, there's really no better tier 10 to be in this sort of matchmaking in. There really isn't. Like, it's just such a powerhouse. It honestly just stuns me how consistently powerful this machine has been over the years it's been in the game. And I really can't wait to get one, I really can't. I'm really looking forward to just playing this thing and just seeing like what kind of games I can get out of it. Because new username is clearly pretty confident in this vehicle because of the amount of times that he's like auto-aimed onto targets, like versus that T32. I believe he auto-aimed onto another tank as well, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I think it was T57, that was it. And just had complete confidence that the gun was going to hit every single shot. I really can't wait to play this thing and just see how it performs for me in comparison. So yeah, thanks very much to new username for sending this replay in. It was a joy to watch, and I think this is the first ever Colabanos medal on the channel. And actually mentioning that, new username also had a previous vehicle featured on the channel. It was the Scorpion G. And mentioning that, he's actually sent me a Scorpion G replay as well. which I haven't had a chance to watch at this moment, but I'm going to be watching it after this. So yeah, thanks very much yet again to the username for sending this replay in. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.